Hey, what's up?
All your favorite artists.
Check it out.
Say my name.
DJ Khaled.
This is Mila J.
Bruno Mars.
On hot7025fm.com.
Thanks for tuning in to Hot 702.5 FM. We are the hottest. You're listening to MVP Speaks Radio.
Keep your radio dial right here. You're locked into the hottest news station on the planet. Hot 702.5 in FM sound. Blazing today's hip-hop, R&B, and pop music. Keeping your radio on fire. Bringing you the hottest, realest, riskiest talk shows live 24/7 on hot7025fm.com.
Tune in every Thursday from 5 to 5:55 p.m. on Hot 702.5 FM for MVP Speaks Radio. Hey, everybody. Welcome on in. Live in the Hot 702.5 FM studios. You're now tuned into MVP Speaks Radio. Life, inspiration, arts, and entertainment. I'm happy that you're here. I'm happy that I'm here. And I'm looking forward to a great time. So before we get into our great time and into our subject, which is probably too much that I want to talk about in this short time, but I want to remind you guys where to pull up and don't pull out to. So this Saturday, there are two events on 511. The first event is at the Multicultural Bookstore. If you're not familiar with the Multicultural Bookstore, it is a Black-owned bookstore in West Las Vegas, right down the street from the West Las Vegas Library. It's a very intimate space, but you can go there and you can find different multicultural books for all ages. So if you're looking to support a small business, a Black-owned business, up-and-coming business, you like books, you want to buy them for your family, your friends, your Mother's Day is coming, you can pull up to the Multicultural Bookstore for that. We're having an event there on Saturday, second Saturdays. This event is put on by Poetic Gems. We decided to cultivate this event and curate this event at the Multicultural Bookstore to bring awareness to the space, because you can use it for a variety of things, such as hosting your own event. Maybe you have a book release you want to do. Maybe you want to have a workshop. I actually think I'm going to have a workshop there this month. I haven't talked to them yet, so I don't know, but I did get the idea. But we're having a poetry event on Saturday. It's from 4 until 7 p.m. And let me tell you about the fire lineup of poets. So we have Poetic Goddess, Boosum, Ivory Powers, Tyrese Russell, Miss Niecy, Jersey Chris, AJ Word Artist, and we also are having a live painting by Psychedelic Chola. And we're celebrating and honoring mothers on Saturday, because Mother's Day, as we know, is Sunday. We're also going to have snacks and raffles, and all the mothers who are in attendance will receive a small token of appreciation from us. So if you want to get your tickets, they're on Eventbrite. They're only $10. It's from 4 to 7. It's going to be a great show. It's going to be a great time. I'm actually hosting on this Saturday, so I'm excited about that. You guys know I love to host. Excuse me. Also, Saturday, on the Eventbrite, you can just search MVP Speaks, or you can search up Second Saturdays, because every second Saturday we'll be in the building over there providing you guys. And it's all ages. So youth are free. 18 and under is free. It's all ages. Bring your mothers. Come celebrate them. Give them a good time with some great poetry. You're going to leave inspired. You're going to leave feeling better. You're going to leave ready to do something you maybe never done before. I don't know. I can't explain it. But you know, when you go to these events, it's always an inspirational time, a motivational time. So I encourage you to pull up. Also, 511 at Kev Loves Music Hall and Events is the Laugh or Trash Show. Now, if you're not familiar with the Laugh or Trash Show, you need to get on board. It is literally the funnest and funniest comedy experience I have experienced out here in Las Vegas. And there's a lot of great comedy shows. There's no shade to any show, so don't be trying to come for me. It's not about that. I really enjoy this. As a comedian who won the first show, toot my own horn, completely not even knowing what I signed up for, I went there and shut it down, so it was a fun time. And as someone who enjoys comedy, someone who enjoys to be entertained, it's interactive, it's fun. The hosts, comedian Lip Lock and Billy Bob, are some of the dopest hosts. I promise you will have a good time. If you don't have a good time, something's wrong with you. No offense, but it's Laugh or Trash. You get to decide who is the funniest comedian of the night. You get to hold up a sign if you want to laugh them up, or you want to trash them. They got to go, and it's all in fun and it's all in love. It's not anything, shady. It's not like that. It's really a good time. It's quality entertainment. You will not be disappointed. That is at 8 p.m. at Kev Loves Music Hall. You also can get your tickets on Eventbrite. Just look up Laugh or Trash Las Vegas. Fun time. Also, Pull Up, Don't Pull Out Mondays. Kev Loves Music Hall and Event. Poetic Haze. It's an all-artist showcase. It doesn't matter if you do poetry, music, comedy, dance, whatever you want to do, come on over and do it. This week, we have Sadie, the Poetry Princess, joining the hosting team. So she will be hosting this Monday. It'll be a great time. $10 entry, and you can come do whatever you want to do. And there's always new people every week, people from out of town. You never know who's going to show up. That's one of the fun things about it that I really love and enjoy. Also, I want to give a shout out to Down to Earth Plant-Based Cuisine. I want to give a shout out to Promise LV. They go every Sunday and help feed the homeless and help give the homeless some things that they need. So if you want to get more involved in the community and you want to go help with them, or you want to donate some food or donate some hygiene supplies, or just come and offer love and offer a word of empowerment and inspiration, make sure that you go follow and search up Promise LV. You can go look up Down to Earth Plant-Based Cuisine on Instagram. Also, I want to give a shout out to Psychedelic Chola. If you need some live painting, if you need any commissioned artwork, she is the one that will hook you up. Psychedelic Chola sounds spelt the real way, the regular way. If you don't know how to spell it, just ask Google. Google knows how to spell everything. Psychedelic Chola. Also give a shout out to Corey the Poet, first poet to gain a residency at a major hotel on the Strip. So that's inspiring for all those poets out there who want to do more with their gift or want to spread their wings. The sky is not the limit. You can go anywhere and do anything you want to do. So, with that being said, let's get into it. Pardon me and my cough. So I've had this cough for a little while since I had bronchitis in February. And it's much better. I literally just started taking sea moss on Sunday. So this is my 5th day taking sea moss, and I already can tell the difference. So I don't know what's in that magic sea moss from the sea, but it definitely is doing something. So give thanks for that. So they say it's the miracle cure-all for whatever you got going on. And then I started feeling better in 3 days. And I haven't had a lot of it left, but I could definitely tell that it's working. So shout out to sea moss. Shout out to all the people who or letting people know about this wonderful, amazing plant from the sea. I'm a Pisces, so I got a thing with the sea. You guys, life is crazy. So anyways, we're going to get started. I want to remind you that you can call in 702-551-5261 if you would like to chime in on whatever I'm saying, whatever the conversation. I'm going to be talking about myself and my journey. I have been feeling like there's so much I want to say about so many different things. Just about life and how it be lifing and how we're not victims of life. We're not victims of things that are happening, because things are not happening to us. They're happening for us and around us. But anyways, before we get into that, and I want you guys to share with me, some things that you've learned, because I'm going to talk about some things that I've learned about myself. But before we get into that, let's do these Be Inspired inspirational messages. This is the bag. I took them out already. This is not a full bag, so I'm just going to read all the ones that I have up in here. We're just going to have a nice time of taking some time to speak life, into ourself. I always say that when you speak a word, it goes out in front of you, and then you catch up to it. And it also goes into you because you're saying it and you're reading it. So, putting myself first is okay and necessary. It's a reminder that you have to put yourself first. Because if you don't put yourself first, who will? Really, honestly. Don't trip. You are loved and supported. Don't trip. You guys can also comment if you're watching on Facebook or YouTube. You can leave some comments if you want to. I bring only the best of yesterday into today. If you're going to live in the past, let it be the best of the past. Money is sweet on me. I am sweet on my money. Heavens, yeah. Can I get a heavens, yeah? If you're watching, just say heavens, yeah. If you're listening, heavens, yeah. It's in the whispers. It's in the whispers. So if someone's whispering, you have to do what? You have to be quiet to hear them. Sometimes the answers we're looking for are not coming in this big sign that we're expecting. We always want a sign. Show me a sign, and we get them. But if you're quiet and you're still, you also can get your answers because they're in the whispers. We need you. Who you mother suckers need me. We all need each other. You are needed. The world is your stage. Come from behind the curtain. The world is literally a stage, and we are all characters on the play. Today I will be present because I am a gift. You got this. I need this one today. I'm a little bit tired today. I don't know why. It could just be me trying to sabotage myself. I am amazing. Yes, I actually am pretty amazing. Just be. Just be. I'm going to use this and talk about this one too. Just be. And love is abundant and overflowing. Give thanks. Now, these are just the regular Be Inspired inspirational messages. Little backstory. I created these messages in 2018. I started making these messages for myself because I realized that I was not necessarily having the best thoughts about myself. I was more downing myself and saying a lot of negative things about myself. And once I realized that, I have to stop that shit. You got to stop that. You got to stop saying negative things about yourself. I have had low self-esteem, just not low self-doubt, self-disbelief. I don't know what you call that. And I realized that I had probably in my lifetime said more negative things about myself than I did positive, or speaking, negatively. And so I decided to write a whole bunch of positive things that were going to help me to uplift and empower myself, because we are the main ones who is uplifting and empowering us with our thoughts that we think about ourselves and what we believe about ourselves. And so I created these messages mostly for myself. But then I got the idea, let me put them in a jar and sell them. And I used to decorate the jars. First of all, I used to paint the jars. That was a lot of work, especially because I'm not really a painter. I used to paint the jars. And then after I stopped painting them, I began to just decorate them with stickers and colorful ribbons. It was whatever theme somebody wanted. If their favorite color was blue and it was a boy, or they like trucks, I would decorate them like that. And they used to be called Candy Coated Confessions, because I wanted it to be something sweet. And they actually used to have candy in them too. But I stopped all that. I changed it because I wanted to be more of a brand. So I got a logo created. Yellow became the color. They used to be white. Yellow became the color because yellow is a happiness color. And the Be Inspired, because we know that bees, it's B-E-E, be inspired, like the bees. Because bees are important for our world and keeping the flowers alive and making honey and all that good stuff. And I got a thing for honey. I think I'm going to play my new song later. I got to keep the time, make sure I have enough time. So that's when those got created. Now, when I came out to Vegas is when I really started selling them, really started pushing them hard. And I'm happy that they're very successful. People love them everywhere I go. I hand them out. People will come to me like, oh, where's the message? Do you got a message for me? People save them in their phones, put them on their mirrors, put them in their wallet. Like, there's a little bit of me floating all around, and I love that. So these messages, the other bag I have is the money manifestation messages. Now, I want to make it clear that these money manifestation messages are they're not necessarily for you to manifest money. They're for you to manifest a frequency within yourself about money, so that you feel a particular way about money, because that is how the money will come more easily to you. So the first one says, what others do with their money is none of my business. This is probably my favorite one out of here, because it reminds you that when you're focused on what someone else is doing with their money, you're not focused on your business. You're not minding your own business. And your business is what pays you. So when you talk about people should do this or people should do that with their money, or you got $1 billion and you're not even helping anybody, blah, blah, blah. That keeps you from your increase. That keeps you from producing money. If you want people to do that, that's what you have to do. So remember that. What other people do with their money is none of your business. Because how would you like if somebody told you what you should be doing with your money? It's yours. And it's theirs. So just let it be. Let it be. Let it be. Honoring my highest source and celebrating my divine guidance is an abundant feeling. You want to feel abundant in your life, and not just financial abundance, but abundance for being alive, abundance for looking outside wherever you live. Like I live in Vegas. There's mountains out there and trees and just abundance of nature. It's abundance of people. I celebrate more than I doubt. Yeah, I need this one too for what I'm going to talk about later. I celebrate more than I doubt. Feeling good about money is fun. Feeling good about money is fun. Why would it not be fun? A lot of times we can And I've been there. So when I say we because I've been there. A lot of times we can be mad that we got to pay our rent or be irritated that the bills are coming in. But when you feel good about using your money, what did it say? It should be fun. You should be excited that you have money to pay your bills. And the more you get excited, the more you open up the frequency to receive more. You never spend your money. Do I have that in here? I think I do. But you should never talk about spending it, because right in there it says your end in the word spend, S-P-E-N-D. When I first saw that, I said, oh, I don't ever want to say this word spend. I just want to use it, circulate it, give it, share it, be blessed by it. My abundance does not take from another. We all have the ability to receive the abundance that we want. And just because someone else has some money doesn't mean you can't have any. And just because you have money, you're not taking from anybody. People get what's theirs. People get what they attract into their life, what they create into their life, what they believe for their life. I have done the best with what I know about money, and I'm open to evolving more. You got to be willing to open up and evolve your thoughts and your feelings about your financial situation. Be open. If you have a job and you get paid every 2 weeks, and you're so fixated on getting paid every 2 weeks that you say, oh, I don't get paid to the 15th. Oh, I don't get paid to the 30th. You may get paid on those days, but by you saying that that's the only way for your money to come in, or that's all the money you got coming in, you are limiting yourself. You are limiting yourself. I respond to life with grace and ease, knowing my divine source. It's okay to have big dollars and big business. I've been for a long time, I've thought we shouldn't call our business a small business. I always felt like that. Like, why has it got to be a small business? Why can't it be a big business? It's okay to have a big business. It's okay to have big dollars flowing from your big business. The more I have, the more I can give. Ain't that a fact? Because how you going to give from an empty cup? Giving more value will produce more profits. Giving more value. What value do you bring? What value do you bring? I tune into the highest vibrations about myself. And I am worthy of all my desires. Part of the issue that I had figured out I had about myself was not feeling worthy. And I'm not exactly sure where my feelings of unworthiness came from, but I think they came from me because I feel like I just was feeling unworthy, and I didn't have a high esteem about myself. And so it's important to know that we are worthy. And I have an unpopular opinion that I think is unpopular, because sometimes I'll hear people talking about people get what they deserve. Like, say if you're a criminal or you're a bad person or whatever, a bad person, you get what you deserve. But I feel like we all deserve goodness. We all deserve love. We all deserve abundance. We all deserve to live our life happily, joyously, and freely. And it doesn't matter what you do. You know, we're raised that way. Like, oh, you have to earn this or that or the other. You have to earn your, to go outside and play, you have to do your chores first. To play your video games, you have to do your chores first. You got to earn all the good things. And I was that mom. I was definitely that mom. Like, no, you got to do this, that, and the other first. But I feel like, I don't necessarily agree with that anymore. I feel like that is not Like we don't have to earn it. Why can't we just have the goodness that we want to have without having to work? You got to do this first. You can't just go have fun. Why not, mother sucker? Why not? So anyways, those are your Be Inspired inspirational messages. I'm having a sale because it is Mental Health Awareness Month. And I never really promote my product as a mental health product, but that's definitely what it is. It's definitely a product that will help you along your journey. I'm not saying it's the only thing you need, but whatever you got going on around yourself along your journey and you want to feel better or continue to have those good feelings, then you got to get you a bag. I'm selling 11 bags for $11. That is a steal because usually one bag costs $11. But I want you to get a bag for yourself, and then I want you to get 10 other bags and give them away to other people that you may know, people you might not know. You might see some people on the street, a homeless person. You might see a young mother struggling. You might see a old person walking down, or you just might see a happy person and be like, oh my God, you're going to love these messages because they're so happy. Shout out to Priscilla Flores checking in. That's my other mama. I just adopted her. I told Christina I was just going to adopt her mama because rest in peace. My mama transitioned 10 years ago tomorrow, and I'm trying not to cry because I already was thinking about it like, oh man. But stepping out, she says, stepping into today out of yesterday. Looking forward to tomorrow and beyond. Being present in today and living better in all spaces. Head space, mind, and body in all that I touch. Visualizing all goodness in this life. My life. Heavens, yeah. Heavens, yeah. That is a great mantra, a great, I'm going to sneeze. Excuse me. That is a great mantra. And that's part of what I wanted to talk about today. Was so there's a few things. First of all, I just recently celebrated 5 years in Vegas. I came out here in 2019. And I have learned a lot about myself. And when I first came out here, I left Milwaukee, Wisconsin. I was not in the best space. I was homeless in Milwaukee. Even before that, how I became homeless. My mama died in 2014. It's not her fault. It's not your fault, mama. But when my mother transitioned, she transitioned on May 10th, 2014. My whole entire life changed. I can't even explain how that happened, but everything changed. And at that same time, I was going through what I would call a spiritual awakening. I was becoming aware to the fact that my belief was that I need to work a 9-to-5 job and pay all my bills. And that was it. Help out the community, pay all your bills, get a job. For most of my life, I didn't really believe I had any talents or any gifts. I've always written poetry, but I never really felt like that was anything, if that makes sense. It was just something I would do just to probably write about my sad life or my sad relationships. Most of my stuff was all sadness. And so I didn't really feel like I had any gifts or any talents. Anyways, when my mama transitioned, I was going through this spiritual awakening. Shortly after she died, I lost my job. And I always had jobs in the community, working with young people, working with families and children. Shout out to COA Youth and Family Centers. Rest in love to your mama. I appreciate that because I miss my mama every day. And all the time I'll just see her name somewhere. I'll see something that I'll just think about her, and then I'll just start crying. It's been 10 years. And that 10 years, when you think about 10 years, sound like a long time. But it's so fast. It seems like yesterday. I can't even believe I've been out here 5 years. But I came out here 5 years after she transitioned. But, that's why I got to stay focused. I forgot what I was talking about. But it's okay. It really is okay. But so I was going through a spiritual awakening. I was realizing that I was living life kind of based on everyone else's terms or based on what I thought should be. I had low self-esteem with myself. I didn't really believe I could do anything. I knew I was good with children and families. That's something that I've always been drawn to babies and to young people and to helping people. I've always been a helper. But my problem was that I was helping others more than I was helping myself. I was a mom, a full-time mother, raising 4 amazing sons. I won't ever say I was a single parent, not ever. Because I feel like, and this is another probably unpopular opinion, I feel like the single mom or the single dad mentality is like a victim mentality. It's like, oh, I'm all alone, or oh, I'm single, my spouse left me, or, whatever. I never, even in and out of relationships, I was married. And I really only had 2 long-term relationships in my life. That's another thing you don't really know about me. Besides my most recent relationship, I really only had 2 long-term relationships, and those were with my children's fathers. And we didn't work out, but the fathers were always involved. Even when we were divorced or not living together, they were always involved in some kind of way. And so I never said I was a single mom, but I was raising my 4 sons, and not only were their fathers involved, but I had help from the community, the schools, the daycare centers, the after-school programs, the doctors. Like, you know what I'm saying? When they say it takes a village, that's what I picture my village. All those programs and communities and doctor visits and everything I needed to help raise my children. Like, I was not ever single or not ever alone. But I felt very alone, very alone within inside myself. And that is because I feel that I was pouring so much into everyone else and not into myself first. So when that message said putting yourself first is okay and necessary, like, I realized that, oh, I'm giving. And then I'm feeling depleted. One of the reasons that I just feel like I went downhill before I left Milwaukee, I lost my job. That's what I was getting at earlier. I lost my job shortly after my mother transitioned because they downsized the program I was running. I used to run Head Start programs and parental involvement programs, all kind of stuff in the community. So the funding was gone, so they had to X my position out. And so at that time, like I said, I was going through a spiritual transformation. I'm realizing, oh, maybe there's something else I can do, that I don't have to go to work every day and work for somebody else just to pay my bills. And so when they fired me, I felt like, oh, yes. Like, I was not sad. I was happy. I was happy as a mother sucker. And so I was like going to work. I knew I could speak. I knew I had a running mouth. So I was like, I'm going to be a motivational speaker. I was listening to Les Brown, and he really helped me. He just helped me to think about myself differently. He's the one that made me realize that I was not being kind to myself. I was saying a lot of negative things. I didn't believe in myself. I used to always be like, oh, I'm so poor, I'm so broke. And even if I'm saying it like in a jokingly manner, it's not no jokes. Like, you don't joke about stuff like that. Your mind is listening to what you're saying and believing it. So I was, in Milwaukee after that. That was 2015. I lost my job. I'm still grieving over my mother. 10 years later. And that's not something that I don't think it ever goes away. And even sometimes I'll be like, why are you still crying about your mom? She's been dead for 10 years. And, it's sad because that's your mama. Like, can't nobody replace your mother. So I was going through that. And I was trying not to have a job. I was trying not to go to a 9-to-5 and have to be committed to this corporation or this company, be it for profit or not for profit. And so I started finding little gigs to do, like working at a cafe a few times a week, something that I could fluctuate my schedule and build and create something for myself. And what I found, that shit was not happening in Milwaukee. Everything I was trying to do, I felt so defeated. And I knew even before I came to Vegas that I couldn't come here with those same feelings, because my mama always used to say, everywhere you go, there you are. You know what I'm saying? And I knew that if I'm feeling a way, I can't come here with those same feelings. So I really tried to clean up my energy and clean up my vibration, but I was homeless. I had been sleeping on two people's couches, and all I kept hearing was these infomercials where, have you been homeless, sleeping on your friends' couches? Well, you could be a millionaire tomorrow. whatever. And so I had the opportunity to come out here to Las Vegas. I kind of gave up on whatever it is I was planning out there. And I said, well, you know what? I'm just going to be an artist. I'm just going to go and do poetry and host events. And I had just started getting into making music. So I said, I'm going to go make some music. I just knew I was going to come out here and blow it all up. And that is not what happened. It's kind of blowed up now. But when I first came out here, it was not blown up. And I realized that through my journey of being an entrepreneur, being an artist, trying to figure out what I'm going to do in my life to make myself happy. I had realized, I had low beliefs, limiting self-doubt, and I was not saying things that were empowering me. I was like taking whatever it was and just letting it, that's what it is, But you have to speak power into your life. You have to speak power into yourself. You have to wake up every day. It's why I created these messages. Hashay. I like that, been elevated. I'm going to start using that. Thanks, Icarice. That's a good. She says, my mother has been elevated since 2001, and I still grieve. It gets lighter, but not easier. And it is okay. It is okay. And it is. There's nothing wrong with that. Like, we are human at the end of the day, and we still have these feelings. And when my mother died, one of the things that I was so adamant about not being sad forever. Like, I watched my mother grieve my older brother when I was 5. My 8-year-old brother elevated. I like that. I'm finna start using that. He elevated. And I watched my mother grieve like all my life until the day she died over her son. And I just can't imagine that. And so I was so adamant, like, I don't want to just be sad every day and I'm finna cry. And if you can hear me, can you bring me some tissue? I didn't want to be sad and be just like, just sad, because I lost my mom, because I know that they never really died. Like, they're with us always. And that's okay. But anyway, so I realized after I came out here, and when I came out here, I felt pretty good. Like, I was in the Ubers. I was telling everybody about myself. I'm MVP. I'm from Milwaukee. I would be rapping in front of people and freestyling random places and just, doing my poetry and really just trying to make a name for myself. And things still didn't seem to be going as I had wanted them to. It took a while for me to get a job, and I decided to get a job when I came out here because it's a new environment, it's a new place. I said, that's right, I'm gonna get a job. I got a wonderful job about 6 months later. After being out here, I was homeless. I came out here to be a nanny for a woman, and in exchange for living with her. And that only lasted a short time because, come to find out, she wasn't even supposed to be out here with her kids due to some court order. So she ended up having to leave. So I literally was like, had nowhere to go. Luckily, my mom's friend knew somebody, And shout out to Marie. She hooked me up with this girl who said I can come watch her daughter, but her living arrangement was not working. I couldn't go nowhere. She wouldn't give me a key. If I had to leave, then I had to be locked out all the way until she came home. It was crazy. So I went through all these different things, and I realized that I needed to do more of what I wanted to do. So we can say, oh, I want to do this, that, and the other. But if we're stuck in the rat race, if we're stuck in the mindset of survival, like still in survival mode, I finally feel like I'm not in survival mode. I feel like I'm surviving, like I'm thriving. And after realizing like I had these negative thoughts about myself, low self-esteem, low self-worth, I had to speak power into my life. I had to speak power and not give into the negative thoughts that I was thinking. I had the job. It was going well, but it still wasn't paying me enough. I still was like barely surviving. 2 hours on the bus everywhere I went. Like, I'm so grateful where I am now because I feel like I finally am where I wanted to be when I got here. And it took some time. And my advice is to remind yourself that things do take time. We're in this instant gratification where if it doesn't happen now what? Now I feel defeated. That's another thing, like feeling like a victim, feeling defeated. I felt so victimized and so defeated by life and even by people I was in relationships with, people that's supposed to be in a spiritual community with me. I just felt like it was all a hot mess. And I had to learn to trust myself and to rely on myself. I started getting into spiritual readings and tarot cards and all these things. And it would be exciting and it would be good. But at the end of the day, I got to trust me. If there was no one around me to tell me nothing, then what would I do? You know what I'm saying? So I had to learn to go within, to change how I thought about myself, to change what I was saying about myself, and to remind myself. That's why these messages are just reminders. And the more you pour them into you, the more you remind yourself of how great you are, because you are great and you are amazing and you are in control of your own life and you create your own life. Sometimes we don't create it with intention. We're creating it by default. We're just accepting whatever's coming to us, and you gotta stop that shit. Like, I had to stop that. I had to go within and realize that it's not nobody outside of me. It's not anything outside of me that is causing me to feel this way. What I'm paying attention to is important. Now, another part of my journey that even recently I've been noticing, like, the social media is it's like the new age. It's like what everything is about, social media. Posting your content, getting your likes, getting your viewers. That stuff is starting to annoy me. And I feel like it's not the social media that's annoying me, it's myself. Am I comparing myself to other social media people? How many followers do they have? How many likes do they have? How many, how come I don't? What do I have to do to get 1 billion followers? Like, is that really important? Because I'll even see some social media people who have, like, a lot of followers, like 150K, 45K, but they're still not fulfilled. They'll still be posting how their followers are not engaging with them or how they still can't do this, that, and the other. And so I find myself sometimes, like, wondering, like, is this it? Like, now I gotta post videos every day. This is a new wave. This is a new age. I don't know. But I do know that I am worthy and you are worthy of a great life. I do know that life does not have to be hard. Life does not have to be difficult. We can choose the ease of our life, how we respond to life. That's what I had to learn. How am I responding to my life? How am I responding to the rejections? How am I responding to the no's? Les Brown told a story one time about 2 guys got fired, One guy, he just went into a stupor, started drinking alcohol, started being depressed, giving up on his life. The other guy went out into the world and just went places. Can I work? Can I volunteer? You don't even got to pay me. I just want to keep busy. Ended up volunteering in this place. The next thing you know, one of the head guys quit, and they gave this mother sucker the job. You know what I'm saying? So it's how I realized how I was responding to life was not serving me. What I believed about myself was not serving me. Looking outside for other people to change. We cannot change other people. I cannot change anyone but myself, how I respond to what happens. Your response really shows your true character, how you really are feeling about you. One time I saw somebody say on the internet, people will say when you get mad and blow up, oh, now you're showing your true colors. And that's true. Like, it doesn't matter if someone provoked you. How you really feel, if you're on a particular level, you won't even get provoked. And so I realized I was letting people provoke me. I was letting people talk down to me or, make me feel a way. And that's not okay. Like, that's not okay. You're in charge of yourself. And a lot of times I wasn't getting what I was wanting because I was so focused on the fact that I didn't have it. This is an attraction. Like, you attract. They say you attract what you pay attention to. A lot of times we're desiring something, but the desire is rooted in the fact that we don't have it. And if you don't have it, the universe is going to keep not giving it to you. So the last few years, I have really been focused on me, on the inside of me. How do I feel? What do I say about myself? How do I feel about myself? And how do I feel about other people? What am I saying about other people? Am I, like that message said, worrying about what other people do with their money is none of your business. What other people do with any part of their life is none of your business. You either are going to resonate with what you resonate with, or you're going to move around and not resonate with it no more. Does that make sense? So, hello, beautiful. So, yeah, it's been a lot. But I feel like I'm finally at a place where I feel good about myself. Everything I have, I literally wanted exactly as it is. I'm a nanny. I'm a part-time nanny in a beautiful place I live at. I'm a part-time nanny in exchange for room, so I don't have to pay rent. My rent is paid from being a nanny part-time. That's exactly how it was supposed to be when I came out here. So I feel like, it's a better situation. I'm hosting events. I'm getting booked, and I'm performing everywhere. I got this freaking awesome radio show that everybody knows about. People will talk about it before I even talk about it. So I feel like I'm blessed, and I feel like I got to this point because I did a lot of work within myself. I stopped worrying about where I wasn't and started being more present. And that's another thing you can do. Anxiety and all those things come from us not being where we're at. We're worried about the future, or we're worried about the past. Something happened in the past we haven't healed from, or we haven't dealt with. And so those things can keep us from where we want to go. And you are good, and life can be easy, but you have to do more and more and more of that. I said earlier about doing more of what I love. Like, I had to get out here and do poetry. First, the coronavirus came, so then we really couldn't do anything. Just when I started getting on my poetry scene out here, the coronavirus came, shut everything down, and then I had to get back out there bit by bit. Shout out to the True Spot LV, because I definitely wouldn't know most of the people I know out here without Rail to Truth and his platform, which is another reason why I feel like these poetry platforms and other artistic platforms are important, because they help us to cultivate a community. They help us to meet people and network with people who are all doing the same thing, and I think it's so beautiful. And they always be like, oh, it's not enough room at the top. But the top is topless. Does that make sense? Like, there is no top. And all of us can succeed. And all of us can flourish in our dreams and in our endeavors and our businesses. And whenever I see a restaurant like Starbucks or McDonald's with the drive-through wrapped all down the block, I always pray for everybody I know and everybody's business to be booming like that, because I believe that is possible. Another thing that helped me get over myself was gratitude. Literally just being grateful for everything. Every freaking thing. I probably say thank you. I can't even count how many times a day. And it's just a practice I started doing because I realized I am blessed. I am grateful. I am here where I'm supposed to be, and I'm doing what I want to do. That's another thing. Sometimes we don't do what we want to do because we don't feel like we can. Like we're not supposed to do what we got to do what we have to do. And you know what you have to do? You have to do what you want to do. You have to do what brings you joy and what makes you happy. All right, so I'm about to go. I'm running off with the mouth. We got about 4 minutes. So in this last 4 minutes, I'm just going to pull one of my Sacred Oracle message cards, and I'm just going to pull a message for myself and for everyone that's watching. And I want to remind you that I'm here every Thursday from 5 until 5:55 p.m. You can shoot me an email, mvpspeaks@radio@gmail.com, if you want to be a guest, if you want to advertise, if you want to have your music played. Next week, I'm going to be playing some music and some poetry from some local artists. So if you want your poetry or your music played, you can shoot an email, and I'll see about getting it on there. I want to shout out to my mama, who I love so much. And I want to shout out to all of us who have lost anyone or anyone that has went over, what'd she say, who has elevated, because it might be you next. Like, sometimes I'll be worried about death. Like, am I going to die? Feeling like I'm about to die for no reason because I have anxiety or because everyone around you's dying. So I got the trust card. Let's read what it says. I'm going to show you guys. It's trust. Let's read what it says. I feel like this is a good card because that's another thing I had to learn to do. I had to learn to trust. Trust in the universe, trust in God, trust in whatever you believe in, that everything is working out. Oh, and this is the desert vision. How appropriate. The desert seems parched and devoid of life. Yet it is the desert that spiritual sojourners go to gain messages from the Creator. Ain't that the truth? Because I sure brought myself all the way out to the desert. Traditionally, the desert is the place of spiritual cleansing, renewal, and profound healing visions. Just as the desert terrains can feed our souls, they also nourish lands thousands of miles away. For example, the Sahara Desert and the Amazon rainforest are a great distance from each other. One is vast, dry area of sand and scrub, while the other is moist, lush, and green. Yet they are connected. Annually, thousands of tons of nutrient-rich dust from the Sahara crosses the continents into the upper atmosphere and deposits vital phosphorus and other minerals into the Amazon, which is needed of those exact nutrients. So the message is, this is a powerful and important card to receive. Even when things seem parched or not fruitful, a deeper energy speaks of the power of your inner knowing. Meditate, trust those nudges from the universe. Your celestial advisors are close now. You are now open to receive some of the most important messages of your life through your intuition. Your intuition is spot on, so trust it. Even if there are some areas of your life that seem lackluster, know that other areas are being fertilized for a resplendent future. Have faith and know there's a higher purpose. All right, y'all. You heard it. Have faith and know that there's a higher purpose. Never give up. Always speak life and speak positivity into yourself and into all that you do, because you do got this. Celebrate more than you doubt. Stay in a state of gratitude, because there is much to be grateful for and there is much to live for. And we're in the business of staying alive and living in this mother sucker. Don't give up. catch me back here next Thursday on Hot 702.5 FM. Peace and love.